In this video, I just wanted to share a little bit about my own personal relationship awakening with astrology's Mars and Venus. So, I didn't grow up studying astrology, but I did have a number of really intense experiences in relationship, in my late teens and early 20s, and a lot of that was really confusing to me. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. But one of the things was I did really start to notice certain patterns in my relationships, like what I wanted, but I didn't have much of a language for it. And it was when I went to India that I started to get turned on to a lot of different astrological traditions: Chinese, Tibetan, Vedic, the Indian astrology, and Western astrology. And I started to see these different patterns be reflected in these systems. And they really revealed a lot to me about relationships in my life. But what was the biggest awakening was when I did a really deep intensive in astrology that was focused on the versions of the god and goddess, the sacred masculine and feminine, Mars and Venus. This intensive weekend was mind-blowing to me because it really showed me how I had this version of masculinity that when it was honored and acknowledged and recognized in another, I felt like I showed up completely. Like all of me was being seen and tended to and acknowledged. And I really got that once I knew the sign that my Mars was in. And I started to see how when my Venus position was described to me, that, wow, again and again, these were the kinds of partners I was attracted to in my life. And these were the values that I had in relationship, what was really important to me. And over the course of my life since then, this has been a huge benefit in my life. It's helped me to understand what kinds of relationships would really support my versions of the masculine and feminine. It's also showed me how to be more whole within myself through my Venus position. As a man, you'll learn that our Venuses are something that we need to integrate within ourselves. This is the version of the inner beloved. And as I learned about that, I knew that I had to do the work of cultivating this quality within myself so that I could feel complete and whole without projecting onto a possible partner whenever they might show up, that they could fulfill this for me. So I started to work with sort of a sacred marriage, we could call it, making love between the version of the masculine in me and the version of the feminine. And this is kind of an alchemical conjunction or creative process of becoming more whole within ourselves. This is what started to happen for me, and it brought a lot of peace into my life after many relationship shifts and that we all go through in our life. This piece really showed what I needed to in relationship from another be acknowledged for, recognized for, and also what I'd be attracted to consistently in my life. So look forward to sharing more of this with you as we get specific to your version of the masculine Mars and feminine Venus.